Hollywood is on pause. Today's video explains everything that is happening with the Hollywood strikes and what you can expect. Let's rewind to the start of 2023. The year began like any other in Hollywood, with studios gearing up for another year of blockbuster releases and TV show premieres. But behind the scenes, tensions were rising. Writers and actors, the creative force behind our favorite stories, were growing increasingly frustrated. They felt that their pay, especially for those working on streaming platforms, wasn't keeping up with the profits of the industry. They were also concerned about their working conditions, citing long hours and high-pressure environments that were affecting their health and well-being. So, they decided to take a stand. At the start of July 2023, backed by their unions, their demands were clear. They wanted better pay, especially residuals, which are payments made for the rerun or redistribution of shows and movies on digital platforms. They called for improved working conditions, including reasonable working hours and better provisions for their health and well-being. And they wanted more creative control, the right to be involved in decisions about their characters and storylines. The strike was a bold move, a signal to the studios that they were serious about their demands. But it was also a risky one, with the potential to disrupt the production of movies and TV shows and impact their own livelihoods.
Apparently, greatness can be delayed.
As the strike continues, its impact is being felt far and wide. Movie and TV production, the lifeblood of Hollywood, has been significantly disrupted. Many productions have been halted, leaving movie sets empty and TV schedules in disarray. The economic impact on Hollywood and related industries has been substantial. With no new content being produced, revenues are falling. This has a ripple effect, impacting everyone from the technicians and support staff who work behind the scenes to the local businesses that rely on the industry. For us, the viewers and fans, the strike means delays in our favorite shows and movies. The next season of the show we've been binge watching, the sequel to the movie we loved, the new series we were looking forward to, all are now on hold. And it's not just about waiting a bit longer for new content. The strike could also affect the quality of the shows and movies we love. With writers and actors on strike, studios may have to make do with less experienced talent or rush production. Understanding the strike requires knowing the arguments from both sides. Let's start with the writers and actors. We went over many of the arguments already, but it goes deeper. Writers are airing their grievances about countless hours of unpaid work. There are endless stories of writers who did not get paid simply because the show or movie was not created. Many of them do not meet the hourly threshold to qualify for health insurance, and many of the contracts they find themselves in prevent them from finding work outside of the network they signed on with. A lot of the writers and actors protesting would qualify if they were paid with residual payments for shows or movies they worked on that appear on streaming services. They also want assurances involving the rise of artificial intelligence. It's one thing to use it as a tool to become better and faster, but another to be replaced by it. Voice acting, for example, is at risk with voice cloning. The studios are arguing the strike is hurting more people than they are trying to help, and they are negotiating in bad faith. They argue with the rise of streaming platforms has significantly altered the landscape of the entertainment industry. Streaming are different from traditional broadcast and cinema, often involving substantial upfront investment and a longer time frame for profitability. Many ventures have been financial failures as well. COVID radically changed the movie and streaming industry, and shareholders have been hit financially. The studios are claiming the gigs they are offering are in line with market standards. They also believe the protests will hurt the industry, discourage investments, and lead to unintended job losses. How long will the strikes last? The unlikely optimistic outlook is by Labor Day, which is at the start of September. Considering how Deadline has reported the studios have no intention of sitting down with the protesters for several more months, this scenario is incredibly unlikely. What's more likely to happen are the protests lasting through the fall, and possibly into the winter. The Screen Actors Guild National Executive Director said the strike could last until the early months of 2024. Some analysts believe even this is optimistic considering how talks have completely stalled. If the protests last until 2024, expect significant delays in your favorite shows and upcoming movies. We could see delays of as much as 6 months, a year, or even possibly longer. If you enjoyed this video and learned something, make sure you follow our page and smash that like button to show support.